Hey everyone, I want to thank you for tuning in to one of EPARTRADE's Race Industry Now Tech webinars. If you're a part of the racing industry or you're just passionate about racing tech, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new episode.
Good morning and welcome to Race Industry Now, the weekly webinar series from EPARTRADE, presented to you by ARP, Performance Plus Global Logistics, Feria, Peak, Fifth Third Bank Motorsport, Quarer, and Haltech Manufacturer. I am Francisque Savignan, the founder and CEO of EPARTRADE, the racing industry, every minute, every day. This is episode 550, and we're going to be talking with Haltech. With me this morning are Judy Kim, the co-founder of EPARTRADE, and a wonderful host, Mr. Joe Castello. Judy?
Thank you, Francisque, and thank you everyone for joining us today. We all know this iconic brand, Haltech. I'm so proud to have them on today. This should be fun and technical, so I'm excited about this one. Joe?
Thank you very much, Judy and Francisque. I am excited about this as well. You know, digital dashes, they're evolving. What should you do? Multiple gauge clusters, or should you have a digital dash? Now the folks at Haltech have expanded their digital dash. It's clear, it's bright. You can add a backup camera. I am super excited. This is something that a road that I just went down recently. They're a global leader in ECU technology coming out of Australia. We all know this story, founded in the mid-1980s, basically off a magazine project, which is super cool. And now we'll be hearing. I'm super excited to hear Andrew DiMartino, who is a special products manager for Haltech, as we dive into it. Thank you for inviting me back, by the way. And he joins us now. There he is,
Thank
guys.
you.
Hi, guys.
Hello,
Thanks
Andrew.
for having us.
Thank you so much for sharing your time and your product with us. This is such a modern thing. You might have a street rod, a hot rod, a race car, a classic car, and you're going through the, like, what do I do to bring all the information to where it's easy, it's user-friendly, it looks cool, it's modern, and you guys, you had a solution, and now you've expanded that solution. The uC-7 was the originator, the OG, if you will. Now the uC-10, bigger, bolder, brighter. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we're going to step you guys through a really great series here, talking all about the uC-10. I'm going to go ahead and pull up our slideshow now. Let me know that you guys can see this. Is that currently sharing or no?
Not yet. I mean, I don't see it. I
right,
have your screen and I have my screen. Perhaps there is on the EPARTRADE screen, I do not see it just yet, but I'm sure we're getting it into position. Here we go.
All right. How about now? How are we doing now?
Yeah, it's coming through loud and clear, Andrew. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, today we're going to be talking about our uC-10 display, how versatile it is, how, like you said, it's the cutting edge of displaying what you need to know, but it's actually so much more. First, I'm going to take you guys through about a little bit of our background that you touched on, and we are going to go through, and we're going to talk about our company a little bit. Like you said, we were founded in 1986. You touched on it, Modern Motor Magazine, 1987. This laid the foundation for Haltech's commitment to engineering excellence and performance optimization. We are a global company. Okay, so what does that mean? We have offices all around the world to service our dealers and our customers. We have everything from 2 offices here in the United States. We have 2 offices in Europe. We have an office down in Sydney, which is where we are from, down in Australia, where all of our ECUs and dashes are made in-house. And then we have a location down in New Zealand. What does that translate to you as a customer? That is 19 hours of live technical support by just calling your local 1-800 number. You will get someone on the phone to help you with all your needs, which, as we all know, we're never working on our race cars or our street cars or anything during the day because we're all at work. So when you need help, we're there for you. So now we're going to get into the uC-10 as it is. Basically, what we wanted to do is provide drivers with a high-performance, customizable display solution that integrates seamlessly with Haltech ECUs, most other aftermarket ECUs, or even standalone for some of your vintage vehicles. So let's get into the nitty-gritty right off, get it out of the way. Retail is $19.95. Now, this, like I said, suits all current Haltech ECUs and also is plug-and-play compatible with a bunch of aftermarket ECU brands: Holley, Hondata, Link, Max, Microtech. We do have plug-and-play solutions for a majority of those so that you can use it with anything. Now, it includes everything that you would need to do an installation with your Haltech ECU. It even has a Wi-Fi antenna that will be enabled. Go ahead to the next slide. Now, the uC-10 is compatible with Haltech CAN and even OBD2. So for you guys that don't necessarily have an aftermarket ECU, but you've got a new enough car to have OBD2, this will integrate seamlessly and will give you all of the data that you need that is transmitted from your factory ECU. Now, with this display, one reason it's so beautiful and crisp is because it's a full color, optically bonded TFT screen, which gives you an incredible viewing angle or viewing area that you can see no matter where your seating position or installation is. So this gives you all of your data right where you can see it. Even if it's out the corner of your eye, you still have a nice, clear, crisp screen. Now, we also have 512 megabytes of onboard data logging. So even if you don't have an aftermarket ECU and you're trying to figure out what your car is doing, the uC-10 will not only display data beautifully, but it will record your data so that you will know what's going on and can troubleshoot or just review data to go faster. You've got user-definable inputs. You have your analog voltage inputs. You have 10 of those. You've got 4 digital pulsed outputs. That right there is going to be a ground trigger for relays. So we'll get very in-depth with some of the versatility there later. Your SPIs are for things like flex fuel. So if you want to be like monitoring flex fuel to find out how much E85 your car is using, that will allow you to do that. And the SPIs are also really great for vehicle speed sensors. So if you're trying to watch your wheel speeds or just know how fast you're going. We have a dedicated tachometer input, which allows you to get your pulses to make your tach work from something like an MSD box or even a distributor. You've got your alternator excite, which this dash is meant to be a complete replacement for your factory dash. So when you have a factory dash, you have your little battery light to tell you if your alternator is working or not, but that also tells the alternator to actually work. So what we've done is put a dedicated pin specifically to replace that light bulb and allow your alternator to charge properly. It also has ambient light sensors that will allow you to play with the dimming properties of the uC-10 so that it's not bright in your face at night, but it will actually be adaptive to your lighting conditions so that you can optimize the brightness of your dash without even having to think about it. So the uC-10 obviously is a display. So we want to give you real-time information like RPM, speed, boost, temperatures. You can have tire pressure. You can have gear all in one clear, customizable interface. So it's all in one place. You know where to look. When you have a dash, you know, you've got your factory dash. Yes, it gives you your dummy lights on things like oil pressure and stuff like that. But with this, you get an enhanced driver awareness and safety. You have immediate visual feedback. We can also do customizable warning lights so that if something is outside of the parameters, it can warn you. You don't have to be staring at your gauges when you're racing. So this is perfect for motorsports and performance applications. It's designed for track use, race use. It features the warnings that I was talking about. You can do lap timers, data logging, customizable pages tailored for different racing scenarios. So if you are, say you are in a drag racing scenario, you just want a tachometer, you can have a page with just a dedicated drag racing layout. Now, if you're doing a multi-use car, you can have different pages to display your different data really easily. When it comes to having a dash like this, you can also streamline your interior. It replaces all of your factory analog gauges and other displays, reducing clutter and simplifying where you're looking for as a driver. Now, I talked earlier just like slightly about the customization. Now, you as a user can define exactly what it is you need to see. You can create unique layouts. You can modify the layouts that we have given you with your dash, and we can do everything as far as what you need to prioritize and reshape exactly what you're seeing utilizing our NSP software, which allows you to do everything in one place. Now, you got to get this thing in there, and you've got to be able to mount it. And there's a few different things that will allow you to do even more with your uC-10. So with your uC-10, to mount it, we have a few different options. We have a tube mount that allows you to bolt our angled aluminum mount to it if you are not going to be bolting it to a flat panel on your dash. We have a molded dash panel as well that you can cut to suit, that allows you to recess the dash and bolt it in place, which works really nicely for a factory dash application, or if you're just trying to have the dash recessed instead of just out in the open. We've talked about the OBD2 capabilities here. You can see that cable down and on the screen as well. We've got the part number there for if you are trying to do that. My favorite accessory that just came out is in fact the backup camera kit. It allows you to have a backup camera in your race car. Some people think that that is not a necessity, and I can tell you from experience, after having one, it is a necessity for trying to get out of the pits without hitting things or people or whatever it is. When you're in a full containment seat, you're not like you can turn around. So this allows you to just put it in reverse or to hit a button on your dash or your keypad. That way it'll turn on your backup camera and you can see what's behind you before you mess up your car. So we talked a little bit about the multi-capabilities of installation. So obviously it's going to be compatible with all of the current Haltech ECUs. That's via a simple CAN connection. It's a 4-pin. It comes with it. You just plug it in and you are able to rock and roll. Now, like I said earlier, we have plug and play compatible cables for Holley, Hondata, Link, Max, Microtech, Motec M1 series, and the Motec 100 series, and Cyvex. So that allows you to use it in your current aftermarket ECU controlled vehicle, getting you the capabilities of the uC-10 in your car today. Now, data logging. We've talked about data logging a little bit. However, I'm going to deep dive with this. It is 512 megabytes, okay? This ties our flagship ECU of the R5 with data logging capabilities. So you are able to data log an entire weekend of racing. I would tell you, I don't recommend it. I would break it up and download it before that happens. You will be going through a lot of data, but it gives you the option to do so you don't have to think about it if you are a one-man team. Major upgrade when it comes to sometimes when you have a factory ECU or an ECU that does not have a lot of data logging, or some aftermarket ECUs don't have any internal data logging. So this will allow you to get all of your data in one place and be able to make changes and move on when you race. One of the other things that I love about the uC-10 is you have a standalone capability. So in a standalone application, you're able to put the display in the car with no ECU at all to control it. We refer to this as a master unit, which allows you to control other Haltech CAN devices or even wire the sensors in directly to the dash itself. So an example of that would be if you've got a vintage car with a carburetor and a distributor, you're able to put the dash in. You can control things like fan relays. So say you've got a factory car with a clutch fan and you want to get rid of that for a new brushless fan. You can use the dash itself for a temperature input that will also output a signal to ground a relay or control a PWM signal. That allows you to get rid of the factory blade fan and put an electric fan on your radiator for better cooling efficiency without having to buy a fan controller, and you'll still be able to see everything you want to see. Now, I have a few tips, especially when it comes to installing a dash, because it is a little bit different than installing an ECU. So with your factory car, you'll have a factory dash. You've got a lot of lights, a lot of inputs into that. Now, go ahead and prep by getting an OEM wiring diagram for your car, whatever application that may be. If you can find an OEM wiring diagram, it's going to make your life a lot easier, so you're not having to use a multimeter to figure everything out one wire at a time. Now, once you have that, you can make an Excel spreadsheet to go through the various inputs and outputs that you're going to want to run in and out of the dash. You need to check whether or not any OEM systems are linked to your dash. Like I said earlier, the alternator excite circuit, that is a really important one. We've had customers not wire that in and wonder why their car is all of a sudden not charging. So make sure that you do your research when it comes to doing your installation. Now, the quick start guide and the wiring diagram for the uC-10 can be found in the package that comes with the uC-10. Or in the download section of our website, you can download it, and it'll have, not only will it have wiring diagrams, but it actually has a cut diagram and the bolt pattern spacing all in your quick start guide. Now, a few things that you can have as far as accessories is you've got your DTM CAN adapters for the different various ECUs. You can see one for the Holly down below. We've got OBD2, and then one of my favorite things when it comes to allowing a standalone installation will be our semi-terminated standalone harness. Now, this was originally designed for our IC7 7-inch display, and it works almost across the board for your uC-10 display. There's a couple things that you can change, like fuel level, which is integrated directly into the dash. There's a couple pins that you can change around, and this dash harness will work perfectly for your application to add things like pressures, temperatures, and even things like fuel level to your car that never had any of that before. This is a plug and play type solution. You throw the harness through the firewall, plug in your sensors. This harness, the kit itself, will come with sensors. One of the kit numbers will come with sensors as well. So there's no question on what you need. It's a one-stop shop. Now, if you're going to be wiring this into an OEM application, you're probably going to need some tools. We offer a dual crimper set that also comes with depinning tools. This allows you to have everything you need to get the dash into your car with proper crimped pins. That's where I found a lot of issues with some of our installations, is if you don't have the right tools, it's really hard to do a nice job with your installation. So I mentioned that the uC-10 is a master unit for Haltech, which allows you to expand into the Haltech universe. The Haltech universe includes things like wideband controllers. So say you've got a carbureted car, you're trying to tune your carburetor, you have no idea if it's rich or if it's lean. A wideband kit with your dash installation will make your life a lot easier. Now, to control things with your uC-10, you can do buttons, like switches, stuff like that. However, we also offer two different versions of a soft touch keypad that is, again, just a plug and play, rock and roll, enable it in the software, and you will have a soft touch keypad that can enable things. It can change customizations of the dash, change pages. You can reset your odometer this way. You've also got a tire pressure monitoring kit. So for all of us that may not drive our cars on a regular basis and may forget to check the air pressures before you head out on a little trip, you can cycle through your dash and actually see what your tire pressures are directly with our TMS4 tire pressure monitoring system that integrates right in to the back of the dash. Now, to go deep, you have the PD16. The PD16 is a power distribution module which allows you to get rid of fuses and relays and just take over everything directly utilizing our PD16 and a dash. I know we're talking about the uC-10, but a PDM allows you to do things in a solid state, no fuses, no relays, and not even have an ECU. What does that mean? Lights, fans, windows, everything like that is fully solid state. You can actually monitor what's going on. Say you have a fuel pump, an electric fuel pump sometimes can go bad. We know that it happens. What the PDM can allow you to do is actually see the amperage that it draws. So if it normally would be drawing 15 amps and all of a sudden it's drawing 25 amps and tripping the breaker, you know there's something going on at the fuel pump because it's drawing too much. You could have a bad ground, you could have a bad fuel pump, but this will allow you to cut down in diagnostics time without even having a full ECU on board. So I've got a video here for you that I'm going to talk through, talking and showing a little bit about the customization when it comes to our products. So we give you a handful of predefined screens. You'll see here, you can drag and drop components that are being displayed with ease. This is all live. This is all real time. As you do it in the software, your screen will be updating and changing. So right now, they're going to move around your easy to look at warning lights so that they are up across the top and easier to see. You can reposition them in any way that you feel is necessary. There is actually an axis control in the bottom right. So if you want to get really precise with it and you don't want to just drag and drop with your mouse, you can get it completely lined up perfectly. Now, they're going to click on that right there, and that is actually going to be your tachometer. So what they're going to do is go to the tab there, and they're going to change the location of the numbers, and boom, you have your numerical number values there for your tachometer. So we can change the size, we can change the font, and now you can see easy to read numbers, all centered up nicely. And you can actually play with it without it being hooked up to a car. So you can see you can drag that needle right there and make it actually go through the motions. So I don't know that gray on gray is a great look. So what we're going to do is we're going to change it to blue. So now you have a blue bar graph for your tachometer. Another thing that makes things really easy is you can, instead of having to completely remake another bar graph, is you can duplicate all the work you just did. Once you duplicate it, drag it down a little bit. Once you drag it down, you can resize things. You can tell it to use something other than a tachometer. So say you want to have vehicle speed, you want to have a bar graph for your coolant temperature, something of that nature, you can get it all resized and happy and working right alongside each other with ease, just utilizing the software here. So we can rescale things really easily. You can see it's a little bit big. So what we're going to do is we're going to resize things down a little bit, get the numbers to where they make more sense. Now they're not over top of each other. Again, you can see you can go put it through its paces. Do everything you need to do by just drag and drop, resize, all in the NSP software. That is super easy. Now, you can turn on and off functions really easily by just going down to your generics, turn on a sensor. With this, it'll pop up and want you to put a wire with your sensor. So what you'll do, you'll go down, it'll give you all of the wires that are open and available for use. That way, you can look at your wiring diagram that you did earlier in your Excel spreadsheet, select that wire, and you're ready to go. And to turn it off is just that easy. You can just go in, turn it off, and go back to the way you were. Now, if you want to make your own screen, it's as easy as creating a blank screen. It's a simple right click. You can see all of the images and everything that we have ready and loaded in. We have a lot going on in here. We have a lot of different things. You have all of our different buttons, all of our different easy touch and go. We've got all of our images there for you to select from and create your own display. Now, obviously, if you want a big Haltech on the back of your display, it's that easy. You can drag it out. Boom, you've got a nice Haltech as your background. This is also something that you can add your own background images for. It's easy as there's an upload button in the images, and you can upload a JPEG or a PNG file. Now, you'll just right click and you can add a numeric. You'll see there's your numeric. You can have it as RPMs. You can have it as anything that you're wanting to display. This is going to be a more simple display because I'll tell you, we've had a lot of people get pretty wild with our customization. We even have a Facebook page committed to all of the wonderful people that are out there. They're dropping in ideas. They're dropping in all of their displays that they have made. We've had people make displays that mimic R34 GTR. We have an LFA. There's a lot of people doing some really neat stuff on that Facebook page. So you can jump on there. They even allow you to download them and use them on your vehicle. So as you can see here, we're changing to a vehicle speed instead of that. And you have your gear, you have vehicle speed, and then we're going to add a component. Scroll down. Okay. Let's do an indicator. Add an indicator. What kind of indicator do we want? Maybe go in here. We'll see what we want to look for. How about a check engine light? That seems like a good thing to have when you're displaying information. In case something's going wrong, you can have a check engine light. So we'll scroll down in here, find the check engine light image, and it's as easy as selecting that. And then we're going to use that image, make it a little bit bigger, drag it over to the side, no problem. We can also change the colors of all of this. So if you don't want it to necessarily be grayed out, you can have it be like blacked out. You can have it when it's in fault, different colors. So say you're used to, say, an over temperature light, you can have it be blue or green or red. So a lot of times when you have something that makes you want to stop, you'll select red. So whenever it goes and turns on, you'll select red so that it comes on red whenever it's got a problem. So, like I said, our screens are fully user definable and customizable. You will get a lot of different screens that come native on the uC-10, and you can play with those as well. So you can resize your gauges, you can drag and drop things. If something you like the overall design, you can play with it however you feel you need to. All right, so that is our overview of the uC-10. Not sure if any questions have come through. Joe, have we had any questions so far?
I do not see. Let me check the chat section. One moment, please. But I have some questions. Like, what
Well,
if
I'd love to talk to you about this thing.
Well, so I'm amazed. Let's just take a second to debrief on the technology that you just put forth. The fact that there are Facebook groups where people are sharing their designs for how they want to put out their data based on their, their car group, which is amazing. The fact that you can basically reprogram your car through this is
Yes.
amazing. But I would imagine there are some people that have the other unit. If they wanted to upgrade from the 7 to the 10, what does it take?
So it's really easy. It's actually completely plug and play. So it is a simple, they use the same exact connector, and they actually have the same bolt pattern. They have the same cutout. The only thing you got to work on is that uC-10 is a big dash. The IC7 is a little bit smaller. So just make sure you've got the room, but everything is plug and play. The pinouts are the same. So you can quite literally disconnect the connector from the back of the dash, install the new dash, and plug it in, and away you go. You'll go through all your programming and everything that you've played with on your IC7. You just go into the software, and now you have another few inches of room to display some more data.
That is amazing. What about the ease of the software? Obviously, setting everything up, going through that process. Nowadays, everybody wants things to be as intuitive as is possible. Tell us a little bit more about the software.
So one thing that we've worked on for a really long time, and actually one of the things that brought me to Haltech before I even worked here, was in fact the software and how easy it is to navigate. We even have a search bar. So you can even search a function that you're looking to do, type it in, enable that function. Now, as far as setting up your dash or customizing your dash, it's all done through the NSB software. It's one place to get all of it done. Now, like I said, with customization, it is drag and drop. So you don't even have to like resize images and try to find the corners or anything like that. You can just resize using a mouse super easily inside that software. As far as intuitive, it is about as intuitive as it gets. If you need to add something, you right click, figure out what you need to add, boom, it's there.
No, I really like the fact that this seems like, and you tell me if this is the wrong way to put it, but like if I've got a race car, I can use this. If I've got a street rod and I want to go cruise, I can use this. It seems like it crosses all automotive genres.
Absolutely. That's one thing that's really, really nice about having a screen, having user-definable screens. It can vibe in any form of automotive. So I have a coworker that has one on a V-Rod. So Harleys, it doesn't stop at cars, 2 wheels, 4 wheels. I don't know if anybody's putting on one on a 1 wheel, but definitely have seen them utilized on motorcycles, trucks, race cars, street rods, classic cars. Is just a good way to display data and, update the inside of your car, especially on like a pro touring build. That is really popular right now. If you got a pro touring car, you're going to be driving it to SEMA, display it at SEMA. Like, you're going to need all that information on the way there. So this is the best way to clean everything up, put it in one location.
On that note, Andrew, what about built-in GPS? Does it have built-in GPS, and can it be paired with external GPS modules? Is that, speaking of getting there?
Yeah, so the uC-10 can be paired with our easy to wire in GPS speed sensor. It wires right into the dash. All your powers and everything are right in the back of that dash. So you will have GPS speed, or you can use mechanical speed. So you'll be able to utilize this thing on anything.
Yeah, that is just amazing. And something I have an older car, And you mentioned like Resto Mod and all of those things. People want all the modern amenities with the classic look and the rumble with a nice cam. Backup camera. Seems like I was on there doing a little research. Looks like a backup camera is something that people want and can be easily added to this.
Absolutely. So what's great about the backup camera kit is it comes with a super easy to integrate wiring harness, which everybody's scared of wiring. It's a terrifying thing. I don't think it's that scary, but then again, that's what I do. This allows you to make a plug and play solution for a backup camera into your dash. You just pin it in to the back of the dash. It's no tools required. No tools at all. You don't have to be crimping anything. You don't have to do anything. So what you can do is pin it into the back of the dash, run your wire nicely, please, through the interior so that nothing gets crunched. On back to the back, you'll have a single connection for your backup camera. And then if you want it to turn on automatically with your backup lights, there is a flying lead that you just tap in to your reverse lights and away you go. You have a backup camera.
I love that. And I also like the fact that you sell the tools that you think are the best tools to work with this. You had mentioned like pinning in is something that, a person doing it at home, maybe they're not doing it enough to be proficient
Yes.
at it, but something like that is all about having the right tools.
Absolutely. And I think part of the right tools is actually a little bit of education. On our YouTube, we actually have a like crimp and aid easy kind of video itself, allowing you to see them being used the correct way and utilize our tools the way they're meant to be used. So you don't have to just figure it out yourself. You can jump on our YouTube and actually go and look exactly with a professional using the tools.
Guys, I've checked it out. They've got a bunch of great videos. Hey, Andrew Mike is out there. He says, hey, Andrew, can you do boost control or nitrous control directly off the dash?
So I believe you could do nitrous control. It would be a generically set up thing that you'd make it a window switch. I wouldn't do boost control off of the dash only because you want the extra logic that you have with an ECU. You could probably do it generically. I don't know that I would. It would take some real tweaking, but it is in fact a ground trigger that could be used for a solenoid. It would just take some pretty switched on people to get that to work exactly how you would want it to work.
Interesting. How long does a typical install take? Like that's another one that, should I do this myself? Should I ask someone to do it? What is the time frame for a typical install?
Well, I think with anything technical like this, it can be easy all the way to professional type need. If you have an OEM ECU and you're just plugging it in via OBD2, that is within a couple hours probably, because mounting it, you have to mount the thing, can't just be dangling. And then it's with an OBD2, you just plug it in. So you're really good to go there. Now, it can get all the way down to being as in-depth as a full utilization of its standalone capabilities. So you'll be doing things like adding sensors and doing temperatures and pressures. That may take you a little bit longer, especially if you're taking all of the old mechanical gauges out at the same time. So I would say 2 hours to maybe a weekend if you take your time. I've seen people, and there are companies out there that do 3D printing for installation. So if you're doing the 3D printing and design work yourself, obviously that's as fast as you can be. But there are other companies out there that will give you a drop into your factory dash location with a 3D printed product.
Yeah, let's spend some time with the mounting options, because I think that is like if you've got a race car, if this isn't a race car, it's utilitarian and as light as is possible. Let's just start there. But if you've
Absolutely.
got an amazing, street rod, a classic, a resto mod, something you're going to go coast to coast in, that you're actually out there, you're going to want to spend a little more time making it as cool as is possible. I mean, this screen is like jewelry. And so what do you recommend as far as mounting options and what's important? I know it's a aluminum case, which is super cool. Like this thing is gold. But when it comes to mounting options, are there any recommendations that you have?
My favorite thing to do to mount it, this is just me personally. Obviously, some people really like the surface mount kind of solution. I am a flush mount kind of guy. So like you were talking about the resto mods, We have a few mounting solutions that we offer. We have that molded panel that's like a plastic that you can actually cut to exactly the hole that you need it to be, and then it's recessed nicely. As far as vibration resistance and stuff like that, this dash is pretty robust. So you obviously don't want it to be mounted on something that's going to shake it up like, a shaking machine. But, some of these race cars are that. So it's ready for that kind of thing too. Like I said earlier, we've mounted it to a Harley V-Rod. We know that a Harley is one of the most vibration like plagued vehicles on the earth. It's held up great. He loves it. You can do a lot as far as mounting.
Yeah, if it didn't vibrate, it wouldn't be a Harley. I mean,
Right. That's part of the joy, right?
that's kind of the fun of the whole experience.
Yes, sir.
Personalization, though, I think is something that everybody also wants. We want it to run. We want it to be great. We want to be able to do everything, but we want our own logos and our own fonts. And you mentioned pictures and all of those things. That was actually very intriguing to me. What file formats are supported and like what are the limitations of that aspect of it? Custom graphics, I think of my own stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that, because I think that's where, I mean, look, there are cars that get sold because they have personalization.
Absolutely. And that's something that we want for you guys as well, because your car it's a direct reflection of you. It's what you love. So when it comes to file formats, it's really easy. It's a JPEG or a PNG. The PNG file, you may not have heard of it. Pretty much everybody that's going to be doing this, a JPEG is pretty household. A PNG is your higher resolution way to save images. So both are absolutely compatible. All you have to do is go into the software. There is an upload tab. You will make your photo or whatever image. You upload it into the NSP software, and then you can drag and drop and resize as you feel.
That's awesome. Let's dig a little deeper into an area. I have just kind of gone through this with a friend of mine, and I bet you that there are some, what I would say, old school hot rod guys, car guys that are loving the idea of it, but they're gauge guys.
Yep.
And you mentioned the price right off the bat. I loved it. I love the fact you went there. We're talking about $2,000, right? But if you add up the cost of every gauge, like every gauge that you're going to buy, and let's call it 6 gauges,
Yeah.
$200 each, a ballpark. That's just rough.
Yeah.
We're already at $1,200. So
Yeah.
talk to those gauge guys, the old school folks that are thinking to themselves, man, this new piece of technology, I don't know if I can just go with it. Like, I'm sure there's a resistance there, but you tell me, what have you been
Yes.
finding, Andrew?
Well, what's interesting is I think $200 for a quality gauge is probably on the low end. I've seen a lot of these new electric, stepper gauges and stuff like that. It can be $400 a gauge. Some of these more like the digital gauges, those get even more expensive. You can spend $4,000 on individual gauges, and you still don't have data logging. You still don't have the expandability that you get with a uC-10. You have infinitely customizable options. So you want to have gauges, make gauges on your background. You're going to end up saving money. You won't need a data logger. You're not going to need a fan controller. So all of the things that you get in the uC-10, I guarantee you're going to spend less than all of your steam gauges.
And weight. That's big.
100%.
For a lot of people, like weight and just the complexity of running all those gauges and wires and lines.
A lot of wiring. A lot of wiring. And think about the old mechanical ones that you have the actual fluids inside the cab with you. We're talking hot coolant. We're talking hot oil. We're talking fuel, combustibles. That gets to stay in the engine bay when it comes to this thing. You can run a sensor, an electric sensor, out in the engine bay. You just have a single set of bundle of wires coming in the firewall. You've now made your car a lot safer as well. We actually did an installation on a NASCAR. We got rid of the main switch panel off to the side and all the steam gauges and utilized a uC-10 to start the car, to data log the car. That car, believe it or not, had fuel and oil in the cab. To me, in a race car, to any solution, any kind of like situation, I don't want combustibles over my legs, whether it's a street car or a race car.
Yeah,
That's just not something that I want. And this allowed us to get all of that in the engine bay where it needs to live, on the opposite side of the firewall.
So Andrew, final moments here. Tremendous presentation, highly educational about what the capabilities are. I love Haltech in that it is a brand that was created because of a need coming out of the media, right? Like how big a deal, like one of the early build projects in Australia, and a magazine build project created a company. Like that's a great success story for people out there though, who like, all right, we want to dig a little deeper. What is your, contact information? What is the best road that they go to find out more information? Maybe they're even ready to purchase.
All right. So as always, haltech.com is the place to go. You can purchase, you can submit a ticket for any questions. You can always call our 1-800 number and get a person on the phone. That's a killer for me. When I was racing, I was coming up using our products back in 2008. I've been using our stuff since 2008. I've gone through 3 generations of ECUs. I've had great success with all of them. Go to our YouTube channel, Haltech TV. You can get so much information. It's all free. It's all right there. We've even got a knowledge base. So if you got questions about, man, I've got a Toyota 2JZ, I don't know what the trigger count is, we have that information for you. So make sure you utilize everything. You can access all of it, haltech.com, or give us a call. Please feel free. We're here for you guys.
Heidi's in the chat. She says, thank you for the informative presentation. Andrew, amazing job. And look at that. Judy and Francisque have rejoined us again. Andrew, thank you so much for the knowledge. I greatly appreciate it.
Joe, thank you so much. I've had a great time talking to you.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Andrew. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for joining us today. This webinar has been recorded. It will be available later on the EPARTRADE platform, distributed through our newsletter, social media channels. In the meantime, please visit epartrade.com. We push Haltech products back on the homepage of the platform. Next webinar will be with Jay Pistons. We'll be talking engines. So again, thank you and goodbye.
Hey, we want to thank you for watching. Now, be sure to like, subscribe, and click on the bell so you're always up to date with the latest racing technology, industry insights, and exclusive content from EPARTRADE.
EPARTRADE is a digital platform that we've created basically to make life easier in the business community of auto racing.
EPARTRADE, there is no e-commerce. It's literally a connection just like at a trade show. So now, any time of the year, a buyer could reach out to a supplier.
When you see a product that you're interested in, all you need to do is click on request more information, and then from there it is forwarded directly to the buyer or to the supplier.
EPARTRADE really eliminates having to travel, closing down your shop. Now you have a place to showcase globally your racing product and technology.
Land speed record holder George Poteet's Speed Demon rocketed 481 miles per hour at the Bonneville Salt Flats. You don't go that fast without ARP fasteners.
There is no way that we could go the speed that we've gone, the number of times we've gone, with a lesser quality bolt than ARP supplies to us. And we absolutely wouldn't be where we were today if it weren't for ARP.
When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
We're Performance Plus Global Logistics. Our team of dedicated performance industry and logistics experts get valuable cars and components to the track on time in top condition. We provide expedited logistics solutions for the performance industry using direct routes instead of deferred options, and communicate all necessary information to the appropriate resources to meet regulations and ensure a smooth transit and secure delivery, both domestically and internationally. And we exceed customer expectations by providing best-in-class service with an efficient and cost-effective system in place. Contact us today to book your next shipment.
You work as hard as your truck, and you have no time for downtime. That's why more truck owners trust Blue Def, America's #1 diesel exhaust fluid brand. Each batch is guaranteed pure, so you can avoid costly repairs caused by inferior DEF. Demand America's best for your truck. Blue Def and Blue Def Platinum. Put trust in your truck.
With roots in the Midwest that date back well before the Model T, Fifth Third Bank has a long history of serving the needs of automotive companies. While much has changed over the years, our passion for helping businesses put cars on the road and on the track has not. Today, we are more committed than ever as a member of SEMA, a founding member of PRI, and a sponsor of multiple race teams across several racing series. Where can we take your business? Fifth Third Bank.
Where will you find Farea racing components, circle track, drag racing, and any top race shop? In every form of motorsports competition, our valves and valve train components deliver race-proven design and technology. And we've brought that same performance to our street applications as well. We're backed by 5 decades of experience, an extensive range of off-the-shelf components, and our custom valve department has the fastest turnaround times in the industry. Farea Racing Components. Stand with us or race against us.
When it comes to pushing the limits of performance, the pros know there's no room for compromise. At Crower Cams, we don't just engineer camshafts and valve train components, we redefine what power means. Since 1955, Crower Cams has been the name trusted by racers, engine builders, and gearheads around the globe. Whether you're building a street machine, a dragster, or a track car, Crower Cams provides the muscle you need to dominate. And with Crower, victory is within your reach.
At SeaTech, we're on a mission to lead the storage industry through innovative custom-built solutions that meet every challenge head-on. Designed for versatility, whether in a commercial setting or at home, we create high-quality, durable products that stand the test of time. SeaTech, engineering and innovation.